Hello, I'm Blade Pippin, and like the title of the video says, we're going to talk about the spell to bind Trump. This is something that has exploded all over the internet recently. I first saw it on the Drudge Report, and I've seen it on Breitbart. It's now appearing on multiple websites, Daily Mail, various others. We're going to talk about this and what it truly is and what it's truly not. Let's see here. A spell to bind Donald Trump and all those that abet him, those that support him. First off, as you can see from my cup here, I support him, and as you can see from my necklace here, I am a witch. I voted for Trump. I support everything he does. I think he's got the right policies, and I think that what's being done, is very definitely wrong. And we're going to talk about why. Go to his FAQ here. You can see, a lot of this stuff here. Are you witches? What is a binding? He claims that some of his collaborators are witches and some are not. I have my doubts about whether he actually is or not. If you look on his other site here, on extranewsfeed.com, where he posted his ritual and all, we see the line, demons of the infernal realms and spirits of the ancestors. First off, witches do not call upon demons of the infernal realms. That right there sounds like a reference to Satanism or Luciferianism, which makes this highly suspect in the first place. And they're calling this a binding spell also. Is this a binding spell? It really doesn't sound like one. Light a candle, say this chant about demons. That's not how a binding spell that I've ever taken part in has went. Furthermore, a binding spell is something that's defensive. Say you've got a daughter and she's had an abusive boyfriend and she's broke up with him and now he's stalking her. You might cast a binding spell on him to keep him from harming her. Keep him, if she's got a protective order against him, to keep him away. Something defensive. Not something to attack someone, not something to push someone out of office, disrupt their agenda. That's not a binding spell, and in fact it sounds like it's crossing lines there. What kind of magic is this anyway? Black magic, he writes? And he just goes on, oh, this is magic from ancient Egyptian to even Christian folk traditions. Again, what he's doing isn't really a binding spell, and it seems to just be creating division between witches and Christians. I don't see a lot of Christians really performing spells either that invoke infernal demons. He writes in here, what about the rule of three? What is the rule of three? That whatever energy you put out comes back to you threefold. Well, first off, this sounds like they're attempting to cause harm, so therefore that's what's going to come back to you threefold. This just doesn't sound like a good thing. He talks about saying a prayer for protection, invoking a blessing, and reading the 23rd Psalm. Again, that's a Christian reference, not a witchcraft reference. A little odd there. Talks about hoodoo, which is, again, not a witchcraft reference. That is something else. None of this is right. None of this makes sense. The main rule in witchcraft is, "And it harm none, do what thou wilt." Don't cause harm to others. When you're seeking to cause harm to someone, especially a president who sought to make America great again and really improve this economy and make lives better for Americans, in what way are you not causing harm? I can read the witch's read in full to you. Bide the witch's law ye must, in perfect love and perfect trust. 8 words the reed fulfill, and ye harm none, do what you will. Lest in thy self-defense it be, ever mind the rule of 3. Follow this with mind and heart, and merry you meet and merry you part. You're not supposed to cause harm. If you have to fight someone in self-defense, that's one thing. But this is not self-defense. It's not at all. Again, he calls for using a tarot card. The Tower. Has anyone seen the Tower? A card of chaos, a card of destruction. Tell me your intent is good here. It's just not. He goes on and on. This just isn't the trying to make it sound like this just isn't not it is not causing harm. Trying to you just can't just saying that it's not so does not make it so. Looking on the article on Daily Mail, what do we see here? Men and women around the world are planning to gather and cast a spell at midnight to stop President Trump from doing harm while possibly banishing him from office. It sounds more like you're the ones trying to do harm. What harm has Donald Trump caused to anyone? He hasn't. I just don't get it. What issue do you have with Donald Trump exactly? Is it just that your candidate didn't win? Were you Hillary supporters, Bernie supporters? Is it that you were big proponents of the socialism that they proposed? I mean, is making America great that scary and bad to you? If you truly are witches, first off, you're a minority religion. Minority religions do not tend to fare well under socialist rule. Just look through history. It's not hard to see this or find this. Witches in our own history in Europe didn't do too well when paganism became the minority religion in Europe. That's why that time is referred to as the Burning Times. Here you have someone trying to bring freedom back to this country, stand up for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. What makes America truly does make America great, makes America free, so you can be the religion you want to be. And here you are fighting against that. It doesn't make sense. None of that's right. You know, the author writes on his website at astronewsfeed.com, The spell in this document was carefully crafted in a structure and language to avoid unintended psychic consequences. This is the same as, it just shows, is this a Democrat writing this? The same carefully crafted as some of these gun control laws are supposedly carefully crafted to protect the lives of children while really stripping your rights away from innocent Americans. Talking about invoking infernal demons. Is the author of this really a Satanist, simply using the witch name because of the way what it evokes in the media to draw attention to himself as he has? Is he simply trying to draw others into his form of Satanism and demon worship? Overall, this is a bad thing. It's a wrong thing. It does cause harm. It does violate the Wiccan Rede. It's not something that should be performed. If anything, we should stand together in solidarity for Trump and light a candle as a blessing for him, hoping that he can make this country better. Hoping that America can be a great place for all, and we will have freedom for all. But trying to bind him from doing that will not achieve anything. Well, that's what I have to say, and thank you for listening. Blessed be.